Hey, No More Excuses group. We've talked about two different things, two different aspects of getting over excuses. Number one was make sure that you live in God's grace, knowing that you don't have to perform perfectly to be able to be blessed, to be able to reach your goals, but that you have to just live in God's grace. And then we're able to face ourselves, we're able to get over it quicker, not live in that condemnation, but just be able to be convicted, ask for forgiveness, ask for help, move on. Bam, that's the way it's supposed to work. Not live in condemnation and guilt and oppressed. So number one, about getting over excuses, to live in God's grace so that we could truly face our problems, our hang-ups, and let God be able to come in there and do his work, which is so awesome, because when you let God get in there and do work, you will do more, that he'll do more with your life than you could ever ask or imagine. Number two was also, let's see what it was. Know where your victory comes from. Remember where your victory comes from. Your victory comes from Jesus Christ. It does not come from because you had a great background, you have a great personality, and you just do everything great. No, it's not dependent on that. You know what I love about the gospel of Jesus Christ? It's all inclusive. It's not for a certain group of people or people with a certain personality or something. None of that. None of that matters. Not your body type, not your personality, not your background, not how great that you are or are not. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with, do you trust God? That's where your true victory comes from, is from Jesus Christ and not from yourself. I'm so glad that I do not have to depend on myself, because you know what, I am weak and pretty stupid, actually. But with God, I have all the wisdom of him living on the inside of me. With him, I have all the strength, the talent, the ability of the Holy Spirit on the inside of me. That's where my victory comes from. The third thing I want to talk to you about, getting over your excuses, being able to just get rid of them, is, and one of our big excuses is, I don't have enough time. Well, I want to give you a tip that my sister told me years ago and has helped me in so many areas of my life. Whenever you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else, okay? Every decision that we make is a choice, okay? It doesn't always feel like a choice, but it's a choice of how we spend our time. Now, if you say yes to exercise, that may mean saying no to something else that you've been normally doing, okay? So maybe you are a person that can't stand it unless your kitchen is spotless. Well, if you begin to exercise, there might be times that you might have to leave a few dishes dirty. Because if you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else. Does that make you a bad person? No. It's deciding how you want to spend your time. Do you want this goal or do you not? How bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough to say yes to it and be able to say no and have to say no to other things? You know, sometimes I'll work out really hard and find that I'm going to have to rest some during the day. For me, if you know me, you know I take naps on Sundays. And when I say I take naps, I sleep for about 2 to 4 hours. And I'm not kidding. Every single Sunday. It is very important to me. It has become like something I put on my schedule. Like, I don't like anything getting in the way. Now, I'll let God interrupt it, but I don't let hardly anybody else interrupt it. If God says go do something, I'll go do something. But that nap time is important to me. You know why? Because I know how hard I push myself through the week. I know that I work out hard. I also work hard in my home. I work hard as a homeschool mom. I work hard as a Sunday school teacher. I work hard. I do these things. But I know that my body has to rest, that I'm saying yes to these things. But that also means that I need to say no to other things so that I can rest when I need to rest. So a big part of getting over the excuse of time is know that when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. When I decided to homeschool, there are things that I had to say no to. There were activities that I no longer could participate in because I knew that doing homeschool was important for me. It was something that God wanted me to do. Well, being healthy is important. It's very, very important, because when you feel good physically, it is much easier to be encouraging, to have a good attitude, to be able to do Bible study, prayer time, be good to others. Being healthy is very important. So I pray that you make the time for it and be okay with having to say no to a few other things so that you can take the time to be healthy. It takes time to be healthy, but it's worth the investment. I think that's what we need to realize is, what's worth the investment? What's worth the investment of my time? And being healthy is worth the investment. Say yes to it and be okay to say no to a few other things. There are times that I've even skipped things that people would say, oh, that would have been fun. But I knew for me, for that time in my life that I needed to say yes to being healthy more than I needed to say yes to going and doing something else. So remember that today. That's one of your ways of getting over the excuse of I don't have enough time remember, when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And remember that use your time wisely. Use it to invest in something you really want to invest in. So when you get to the end of your life, you can know that you did things that really invested in your life, that made your life a better place. You didn't just jump from activity to activity to activity because people said that you should. So I pray that that helps you get over your excuses and know that Jesus died for you to have victory. He did not die for us to have excuses. Have a great day.